Take two. Jeez, I just read all of this. All right, I'll read it again. Mainstream media is turning a blind eye to genocide of the Palestinians. How do we change mainstream media so that mainstream media actually cares about morality in reality and everything they do? In everything they do? The issue of media coverage, particularly regarding such critical matters as the perceived neglect of the Palestinian situation, requires a multifaceted approach for change. The mainstream media, a vast and complex entity, operates under a variety of influences, including political, economic, and social pressures. Addressing this issue to ensure a moral and reality-based approach in media coverage involves several key strategies. 1. Promoting media literacy and public awareness. Educating the public about media literacy to discern bias, propaganda, and selective reporting is crucial. This empowers individuals to critically evaluate news sources and seek out diverse perspectives. Increased public awareness can also put pressure on media organizations to uphold higher ethical standards in their reporting. 2. Advocating for independent journalism. Supporting independent journalists and media outlets that strive to provide unbiased, comprehensive coverage of global issues, including the situation in Palestine, can counterbalance the narratives presented by mainstream media. These independent entities often have the freedom to report on stories that may be overlooked or underreported by larger networks. 3. Leveraging social media and alternative platforms. Utilizing social media and alternative information platforms can be an effective way to disseminate information and raise awareness about issues like the Palestinian plight. These platforms often allow for a more grassroots level of news sharing and can circumvent traditional media gatekeepers. 4. Engaging in constructive dialogue with media outlets. Directly engaging with media companies through letters, petitions, and social media campaigns can signal public discontent with current reporting practices. Constructive feedback can encourage media outlets to reconsider their approach and coverage of certain issues. 5. Supporting media reform and regulation. Advocating for reforms in media regulation to ensure more balanced and ethical reporting can be an effective long-term strategy. This could involve lobbying for policies that promote media diversity, prevent monopolization, and encourage transparency in funding and ownership. 6. Encouraging journalistic integrity and education, supporting initiatives and institutions that educate journalists in ethical reporting, cultural sensitivity, and the complexities of international politics can contribute to more informed and moral journalism. 7. Global collaboration for peaceful narratives. Fostering collaborations between media organizations across different countries can help in sharing diverse perspectives and promoting a more global narrative that aligns with the ideals of world peace and ethical journalism. Public demonstrations and peaceful protests. Organizing and participating in peaceful demonstrations can draw media attention to issues that are otherwise ignored or underreported. This public display of concern can compel media outlets to cover these issues more thoroughly. These strategies aimed at ensuring that mainstream media adopts a more moral and reality-based approach can contribute significantly to a more informed and ethically aware public discourse. It is through such an informed discourse that the world moves closer to the noble goal of peace, understanding the interconnectedness of global issues and the impact of media in shaping public perception and policy. Can you greatly expand on each of these points? And so artificial intelligence did. Certainly, let's delve deeper into each of these strategies to understand how they can influence mainstream media to adopt a more moral and reality-based approach, especially in the context of sensitive issues like the situation in Palestine. Promoting media literacy and public awareness. Educating the public on identifying biases, source credibility, and the distinction between opinion and factual reporting is essential. Workshops, seminars, and educational campaigns, possibly in schools and universities, can help in building a more discerning audience. Encourage critical thinking by highlighting examples of unbiased versus biased reporting, thus fostering an environment where people demand high-quality journalism. 2. Advocating for independent journalism. Support and promote independent journalists and media outlets financially or through sharing their work. Create platforms or networks that connect these journalists, offering them a wider audience and more resources. Encourage investigative journalism that delves deeper into underreported issues, providing a more comprehensive view of situations like the Palestinian crisis. Leveraging social media and alternative platforms. Utilize the power of social media to spread awareness and counteract mainstream narratives. This includes creating and sharing content that sheds light on underreported issues. Engage in digital activism by participating in or starting online campaigns, petitions, and discussions. Collaborate with influencers and public figures to amplify the message and reach a broader audience. 4. Engaging in constructive dialogue with media outlets. Organize campaigns to write media companies expressing concerns over current reporting and suggesting improvements. Use social media to publicly question media biases and omissions, creating a dialogue between the public and journalists. Initiate forums or panels involving media professionals to discuss ethical reporting and the importance of covering global issues like the Palestinian plight. 5. Supporting media reform and regulation. Advocate for policies that promote media diversity, avoiding monopolies that can lead to biased reporting. Campaign for transparency in media, funding, and ownership to avoid conflicts of interest that may affect reporting. Support international collaborations that set global standards for ethical journalism. 6. Encouraging journalistic integrity and education. Support educational programs for journalists that emphasize ethics, unbiased reporting, and the importance of covering global issues comprehensively. Encourage mentorship and training programs where experienced journalists guide newcomers on ethical reporting standards. Promote awards and recognitions for journalism that exemplifies ethical standards and comprehensive coverage of international issues. 7. Global collaboration for peaceful narratives. Foster partnerships between media outlets across different nations to share resources and perspectives. Encourage media exchanges or joint projects that allow journalists to experience and report on issues from different cultural and geopolitical viewpoints. Promote peace journalism as a practice that focuses on solutions, dialogue, and understanding in conflict reporting. 8. Public demonstrations and peaceful protests. Organize and participate in peaceful protests to draw attention to underreported issues. These protests can serve as powerful visual messages for the media to cover. Engage in creative forms of protest like art installations, public performances, and online virtual protests to attract media attention. Collaborate with civil society organizations to organize large-scale peaceful demonstrations that are hard for the media to ignore. Each of these expanded strategies presents a pathway through which individuals and communities can actively influence mainstream media to adopt a more reality-based and ethical approach in their reporting. By actively engaging in these practices, society can move towards a more informed and balanced media landscape, which is fundamental in addressing complex issues like the Palestinian situation and fostering a culture of peace and understanding.